Tears are often a cry for help. The redness may be a warning. And you can't dream if you can't keep your eyes shut. Up to 50% of people with Graves' disease will develop thyroid eye disease. If you have symptoms like watery eyes, redness, pain, or bulging eyes, find a specialist at isitted.com.
Baby, you put a ring on a wild thing.
That's Maddie and Tay's brand new music video for their song Woman You Got. And guess what? They only invited E.T. to the set.
They did, and this music video is also extra special because they got their husbands to star in it. Check it out. Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Hey, E.T., it's Maddie.
And Tay. I ain't chicken.
The vibe is very 90s, like Elwood, Lee.
Happening now.
New developments in the case of baby King J. Davila, who was killed back in January 2019. Today, a sentence handed down. And the Secretary of Homeland Security in San Antonio today getting a tour of a mass vaccination site. How Bexar County stacks up against the rest of the country when it comes to vaccinations.
More opportunities of rain, including parts of the 4th of July weekend. I'll see you in a few minutes. The News at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, we begin with late-breaking news in the case of Christopher Davila. Unexpectedly today, he took a plea deal and was sentenced.
That sentence for his role in the 2019 death of 8-month-old King J. Davila. Erica Hernandez joins us live in the newsroom. So, Erica, how many years will Davila now be facing in prison?
40 years. The plea deal that Christopher Davila agreed to this afternoon in the 227th District Court. Now, the hearing took place via Zoom. Davila, who was present, was facing a charge of injury to a child causing serious bodily injury or death intentionally or knowingly, which is a first-degree felony. During his hearing, Davila waived his right to a jury trial and took a plea, but he did not plead guilty.
Mr. Davila, is that your understanding of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Now, this case got a lot of attention back on January 4th, 2019, when Davila reported baby King J missing. After an investigation, police determined that Davila, his mother, and cousin staged a kidnapping. Days later, Davila led police to King J's body, which was inside a backpack under a bridge. Now, Davila's mother, Beatriz Sampaio, and cousin Angie Torres are facing tampering with evidence charges in this case. No word yet on when their next court date will be. We have more on this case right now on our website, KSAT.com. Tim, Ursula.
Thanks, Erica. We have some more late-breaking news for you at 5.
Yeah, this afternoon, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office arrested a former juvenile detention officer. 31-year-old Ramon Montana was arrested for alleged injury to a child with serious bodily injury, which is a first-degree felony. He was also charged with assault bodily injury.
The incident happened 2 years ago. An investigation by the BCSO Public Integrity Unit determined that Montana used excessive force while restraining a 13-year-old. The juvenile's arm was placed behind his back, but then he was lifted by that arm, and the 13-year-old suffered a fractured shoulder. Montana was arrested without incident.
New at 5, we now know the name of the man found with a fatal injury behind a bus stop Monday morning on the city's northwest side. According to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office, that man has been identified as 22-year-old Troy Demetrius Lee. They say Lee had several stab wounds to his back and abdomen. San Antonio police say they found Lee around 2 a.m. yesterday lying on a hill near a bus stop on Ingram Road. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he died from his injuries. Right now, there are no suspects in this case.
A West Side man recovering from cuts that he suffered during a knife fight outside of his home. According to San Antonio police, the victim was cut in his arm during an argument at around 11 o'clock last night in the 100 block of Taos Street near Brady Boulevard. SAPD says the suspect's believed to be a man who is around 80 years old. The victim taken to a hospital. He is expected to be okay. At last check, the slashing suspect has not been found.
Crime Stoppers is asking for your help to find a man they say set a car on fire over on the west side. Arson investigators say this man was in the 1400 block of Culebra Road near North Zarzamora Street. That's where investigators say the suspect used a Molotov cocktail to start a fire outside of an automotive business there. If you have any information that can help police solve this crime, call Crime Stoppers. Their number 210-224-STOP.
The Department of Homeland Security's Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will be in San Antonio to tour the Wonderland of the Americas mass vaccination site. President Joe Biden had set the goal of getting 70% of American adults vaccinated with at least one dose by July 4th.
While the country as a whole has not reached that goal, local leaders say we've hit it here. Garrett Berger is live at that vaccination site this evening. How does Bexar County stack up against the rest of the country, Garrett?
Well, it's fair to say we've been doing pretty well here. Hundreds of thousands of doses administered at just this mass vaccination site at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall. Still, it's hard to compare stats apples to apples. The feds talk about vaccinating adults, while Texas numbers include all residents 12 and up. And the state numbers don't include vaccinations given to service members and veterans who were vaccinated through the DOD or Veterans Affairs. Metro Health, though, does. And their numbers put the vaccination rate in Bexar County at almost 73%. Nationwide, the feds say it's about 66% of adults. Now, the DHS secretary said what San Antonio has achieved is a model for those who haven't.
Because what San Antonio will be able to deliver is normalcy more quickly to its residents, and I hope that other cities see what San Antonio has done and can do.
According to state numbers, 57% of Texans have been vaccinated with at least one dose statewide. But again, the numbers do not include those who got their doses through the DOD or VA. Now, both Secretary Mayorkas and local officials urged unvaccinated people in the community to come in and get your shots. Live at the Wonderland of the Americas, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. A new study finds that the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines could offer protection that lasts years, even without a booster shot. Researchers found nearly 4 months after the second shot, there was still a strong immune response, essentially training the body long-term to fight off infection. This comes as growing concerns about the highly contagious Delta variant that's now showing up in 49 states.
What you have is that people started feeling comfortable. People saw the cases, the hospitalizations down, and so the urgency of getting the vaccine slowed down. We've got to make sure that we do everything we can to get the word out.
And ahead of the July 4th holiday, a new poll finds about 4 in 10 Americans still think that attending 4th of July celebrations presents a large to moderate risk to their health and well-being.
Another day of tropical downpours across South Texas. Some sun showers out there. You've got sunshine in some locations, clouds, downpours, at least brief downpours elsewhere. Over the past couple of hours, you see that activity out there. A lot of it down near Cotulla. Just a little bit of lightning and thunder with some of this. Light rain, south side of San Antonio. We'll take a closer look at the radar, but look what that's done to temperatures. 79 right now in Schertz. West Kerrville, 76. You know, in Helen's backyard in Seguin, just over half an inch of rain today. And you go up to Bernie, Rick's backyard, they got a downpour, 1.48. Nearly an inch and a half up in Bernie. These showers and storms will be tapering off as we lose our daytime heating as the sun sets. But I know it did cause some issues on the roadways earlier today. Let's get the very latest on the traffic with Sam Kim.
Yeah, Adam, we had a lot of crashes and the like earlier today, just a couple of hours ago when those heavy showers are really moving through. Things calming down a little bit, but we're still seeing some issues here as we head over to the traffic wall. This is 1604 at Bandera, and we are seeing some delays right now on 1604 on the northwest side. Red in both directions from Bandera to 281, half an hour, 29 minutes going the other direction. I had an earlier crash there at 281 near Blanco. Now looking at the other maps here, we have a vehicle fire here on the southeast side. It's causing some delays on Loop 410 northbound at WW White. So that's going to be something to keep in mind if you're traveling on the southeast side. And we're also starting to see some delays here downtown. Had some big delays in 35 southbound. You're seeing that a little bit on I-10 this evening. And as we look out across the rest of the area, a lot of red on the map as we would expect. So be careful out there, and we'll keep an eye on things throughout the evening. Tim, Ursula?
Thank you, Samuel. The state STAR test results are out, and here's how they stack up against the 2019 results. 34% of students did not meet the state's requirements this past school year. That's compared to 25% in 2019. The Texas Education Agency says the increase is likely due to remote learning because of the pandemic. Here at home, summer school classes are trying to help students catch up where they fell behind during the pandemic, and one local nonprofit focused on developing young leaders is taking a slightly different approach. As Jesse DeGiotta reports, the program teaches having the right attitude could help improve their grades and those STAR tests.
So think of that too. These young women are in a 4-week STEM camp organized by Girls Inc. The focus this week, math. Today, they were learning about financial literacy.
In a way that's exciting and tangible for them, that isn't about teaching to a test.
The STAR test that Kaylee Konevsky actually did quite well on. The Loma Alta 8th grader says she's encouraged knowing she mastered reading and her reading comprehension has improved. So have her math skills.
I used to be virtual, so it was very hard for me, especially mathematics.
This is more than a kind of refresher course ahead of the new school year. Konevsky says she enjoys how Girls Inc. empowers them by teaching them that they can succeed even in male-dominated fields.
So I think that's the reason why I'm in this program, so I can, be bigger and be better.
Girls Inc. believes boosting their confidence will help them ask questions in class and advocate for themselves so they can do better in school and prepare for the next STAR test.
Focus more and say, oh, I can do this, not say, oh, I can't do this.
Regardless how they did this year, they're reminded the STAR test is just that. A test.
It is not a marker for a defining moment for young people.
Girls Inc. has an encouraging message for these young women from the late poet Maya Angelou.
She told that to Oprah all the time, when you know better, you do better. And I tell them all the time, fail hard, fail fast, and then we can pick ourselves up, because when you know better, you always do better.
On the west side, Jesse DeGiotta, KSAT 12 News.
Now to a health alert and a major change for children getting routine health care. A well-known pediatric health association now calling for all children, not just athletes, to get screened for heart issues in an effort to find cardiac issues before they turn deadly.
Screenings for cardiac conditions in children have mostly been directed at athletes.
Cardiac arrest in children is a rare event, fortunately, but it is not a zero incidence at all.
In a statement published in the medical journal Pediatrics, the American Academy of Pediatrics is now calling for all children to be screened for conditions that could lead to cardiac arrest or death.
We are saying that no subpopulation of kids should be selected out from screening, because all children could have a potential risk.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
The pediatricians say those screenings should be part of a child's regular exam and call for doctors to delve into personal and family medical history and ask questions like, has the child ever had exercise-related chest pain or shortness of breath?
If we identify one of these conditions, particularly before they have any kind of a sudden cardiac event, treatment can be initiated, or at least that they can be monitored.
The statement also lists common conditions for primary care physicians to be aware of that could put young patients at risk, saying these screenings could save a life.
The Association of Pediatricians also says it's crucial for doctors to advocate for emergency action plans as well as CPR training. The group says this is necessary because no single screening strategy will detect all conditions associated with sudden cardiac arrest.
Still ahead on the news at 5. If you find yourself tossing and turning at night, comfort might just be a pillow away. Find out how an adjustable pillow might be the best for your next night's rest. Next. New at 5, a little pillow talk. If you are picky about your pillow, the key to comfort may just be the newest trend. Adjustable pillows. They're exactly what the name implies. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz checks out a few that could just lead to a good night's sleep.
If you're tossing and turning, the culprit could be your pillow.
With a pillow, you don't want your head to tilt too far forward or too far back. Sometimes you may need more than what a standard pillow can provide.
Enter adjustable pillows. They're packed with filling made from different materials and inserts that you can adjust to make it just right. Consumer Reports took an inside look at 3. The $90 avocado green is filled with shredded pieces of organic latex foam and fibers from a kapok tree. You just unzip and add or remove stuffing. This $60 premium adjustable loft pillow from Coop Home Goods is filled with shredded memory foam and microfiber. And this Sleep Number Comfort Fit has 3 separate inserts made from memory foam and down alternative fibers. You can add or remove the inserts, but you can't break them down any further than that. It's $130. Consumer Reports tested each pillow to see how well it holds up and supports various people.
We use a pressure mat and analyze roughly 1,600 pressure points and focus on the contact area between the head and the pillow. We know if the pressure is too high, you're likely to experience some discomfort when you sleep, and you'll be shifting around a lot more.
They found all 3 offer excellent support for both back and side sleepers. Want to try one out? Both the Coop and the Avocado will give you a free 100-day trial. The Sleep Number doesn't offer returns, but will give you one exchange. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Live look outside with Live Cam. A lot of people got rain today, Adam, and sunshine. And overcast.
Yes, a combination day and not too hot. Look at that. Another afternoon, we actually dropped down into the 70s. It's hard to believe that July is just a few days away. I was about to say a few degrees away, but just a few days away. If you missed out on the rain lately, there are more chances ahead, but it's not going to be equal every day. Some days will be better odds than others, so we'll talk about that. And of course, your shot at rain as we get into the 4th of July weekend and even the day of 4th of July. So let's talk about it here. Taking a look at the radar, you still see some widely separated activity, scattered in nature. This is what we mean when we say scattered showers, thunderstorms, and of course, tropical downpours. We've got the tropical element to our air mass, so the big fat raindrops fall. They fall pretty hard. You can get a quick 1 to 2 inches in just about no time. A lot of activity, especially southwest of San Antonio right now. We'll take a look at that down the I-35 corridor. Switching radar sites to get a better picture of it and better view here. Moving through Pearsall, Dilley, Cotulla, even around Carrizo Springs, a little bit of lightning and thunder associated with that. Not a whole lot, but mostly it's just some downpours, even Uvalde County. And these are nice cooling downpours. Not only do they give us a quick shot of maintenance rain to maintain our lack of drought, but they also cool us off. And this is the perfect time of day and time of year, if you ask me, to have a pattern like this. And it's just good to have it overall. So let's take a look at the radar closer to home here. And we get around San Antonio. Really just light rain left over for the most part. We had a nice little downpour pop up, good soaker for the rain and for the lawns and the gardens there. Near Schertz, Selma, now moving up toward Bulverde. Very brief, however. Light rain up I-10 Leon Springs, light rain on the south side of San Antonio. You go east of town, and that's where we actually have some heavier rain, particularly moving into Gonzales. So this is all just hit or miss, and it's the kind of activity this time of day that's good to make rainbows. So keep your eye out for some rainbows. But remember, you have to have your back to the sun in order to see a rainbow. Look at the 5-day rainfall. I just want to point this out. So this is basically since the skies opened up on Saturday, or on Sunday rather, when we started to see those downpours. The highest accumulations, no surprise, closer to the coastline. Nonetheless, we've had some parts of our area in that yellow color, which is about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. And here's the radar over the past 9 hours. See how it fills in the afternoon? Peak daytime heating as that sun heats us up. That's when these start firing and flaring up. Once we lose that sunlight, well, we lose the showers as well, other than a few sprinkles or highly isolated showers. But most of the activity comes to an end. Across the state, another good day, especially off to the north and west. Now, the heat high is actually over Washington, D.C. right now. This little section of it, this little kind of portion of it's going to peel off and head our way. Tomorrow is going to be more of the same. So Wednesday, more scattered activity. But once we get into Thursday and Friday, I think this is going to turn off the tap for the most part for a few days, Thursday and Friday. So I wouldn't anticipate very good rain chances those days. Very low end chances Thursday, Friday because of that upper level high in place. But then we get right back into this pattern Saturday through the 4th of July and early next week. That doesn't mean you need to cancel weekend plans. A lot of this is the type of stuff you can keep swimming in. You don't have to leave the pool. There's minimal lightning and thunder. You can play in this type of rain. And it comes to an end in the evening. 78 now, dew point is 75. Of course, very sticky out there. Across the state, we've got some 70s and 80s because of that rain-cooled air. 75 Uvalde, 82 right now in Pleasanton. Tomorrow we start the day at 73, make it up to 88, and it's going to be more of the same. Widely separated downpours popping up, and then we ramp it up again as we get into the weekend. But the warmest is going to be mid-90s on Friday.
All right, Adam, thank you.
So, Greg, there are some theories out there about why Becky Hammon didn't get that job in Portland. How much should we believe about it?
And you could actually call it maybe excuses of why they chose Chauncey Billups over Becky Hammon. When we come back, we'll let you know what that alleged background check found. And the Clippers live to play another day. They're getting used to this. Coming up. The reason why San Antonio's first assistant coach Becky Hammon did not get the job in Portland is due to the intel the team received from the Alamo City and other sources questioning her day-to-day coaching responsibilities. That's according to Bleacher Report, after Blazers owner Jody Allen was very much in Becky's corner about becoming the first female head coach in the history of the NBA. Instead, the job went to former Detroit Piston and Clippers assistant coach Chauncey Billups in a 5-year contract. The less than flattering background check seems to be pretty ambiguous and could just be an excuse not to take a chance of being a pioneer in the NBA with a franchise players such as Damian Lillard. After all, if she lacked these so-called day-to-day qualities, why in the world would 5-time NBA champion Greg Popovich have Hammon as one of his top assistants since 2014, even promoting her to the front row in 2018? There are 3 vacancies left, including Orlando, that Hammon has interviewed for, but Portland was believed to be her best shot this offseason. You have to give the Clippers credit during these NBA playoffs. Each time they were faced with elimination, they responded with a win. 4 times in this postseason and now again against the Phoenix Suns in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Nothing short of remarkable. And they came out swinging without Kawhi Leonard again, missing his 7th straight game with a sore right knee. What did the Clippers do? Jumped out to a 20-5 lead in the first quarter behind Marcus Morris, who had 20 points before halftime. Morris is 6 out of 7 in the first alone. The Suns would bounce back, chip away at the lead. Devin Booker hitting the 3-pointer at halftime to cut the lead to 7, 59-52. The Suns would actually take their first lead of the game in the third quarter when Chris Paul hit this basket to make it 62-61 with over 8 minutes to play. But the Clippers responded behind playoff Paul, who hit back-to-back 3-pointers to push LA back out to a 12-point lead. George would finish with a career playoff high in scoring with 41 points. The Sun, but behind Devin Booker's 31 points, would get as close as 4 points with just 7 minutes to play. But that's when the Clippers go on a 10-2 run and pull away for the 116-102 victory in Phoenix. And now the series shifts back to LA for Game 6 tomorrow, with the Clippers facing elimination again, down 3-2.
We thrive in this moment. We come together even more so in these moments. And I mean, this team, you know, is just made up of toughness all across the roster. And so we're going to give it everything we got, and we live with the results.
And the UTSA Roadrunners announcing today they have a big commit, one of the nation's top pass rushers coming to UTSA. Got that for you coming up at 6 o'clock.
We will look forward to it. Thank you, Greg.
And we'll be right back.
More of the same tomorrow. Random pop-up afternoon downpours, 88. Then I think mainly dry Thursday and Friday, so back into the 90s. By the weekend, we do these afternoon pop-up showers all over again.
And we have some major delays, Adam, downtown. This is I-35 at Pine approaching downtown. Had a stalled vehicle just getting cleared there, but you are seeing some delays coming in on the other side as well. This is I-10 at Frio. So pack your patience if you're heading out in the next half hour or so. Tim and Ursula.
Thanks, Samuel, and thank you for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News is next. We'll see you back here for more local news at 6.